At 113 kilometers on the other side of the Cameroonian border town of Ekok is situated the Adakom refugee settlement. Women and children form the majority of the over 7,000 registered Cameroonian refugees in the camp. Deadly clashes between the separatist Ambazonian fighters and Cameroon's defense and security forces is obliging them out of their homes, villages and country. Since 2017, when the crisis grew into an armed conflict, many have continued to flee their homes and live as refugees under terrible conditions in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. These populations live in extremely overcrowded camps, making them highly vulnerable to diseases, and for the young girls and their mothers, unwanted pregnancies. Despite government's emergency humanitarian assistance, the creation of the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission, among other measures, to lay to rest what is today known in the Anglophone regions as the battle for independence, the crisis in these regions has continued to render many homeless and hungry. The situation is worsening as the burning of houses is on the increase. Lives are being lost. The rate of kidnappings for ransom and looting has also taken an upward trend. This and more may never be forgotten by anyone who lives it.
I was selling in Bamenda as they burned Bamenda food market. They burned all my shops. That is, I am just standing with my children.
I came here because of hardship. I live in the tent of another woman. I put a loin on the ground for my son and I to sleep. I am a widow. I lost my husband to the crisis. I have been thinking of what I have left behind. My poultry, my goats, and a cocoa farm.
I come from Akoya and I left many things. They burned my bike from Akoya subdivision. Is there. I helped myself through that bike and I have a house, a six-room house, everything has been destroyed. So my farms, I also have a cocoa farm, everything is off.
Although they have a place where the fear of the unknown is far from preoccupying them, they are in desperate need for potable water, healthcare, food, education, just to name a few. We suffer here a lot. No food, no decent sleep space, no toilet, no water.
No water.
When we have water supply for one day, we will suffer for 4 days.
Better place for
we don't have where to sleep. Soon it will be the rainy season. When it rains, all the water will be on my children.
They sleep for underwater.
My children go to school. Others have had uniforms, but mine are yet to. It will be good if uniforms are provided for them too. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees has been giving out cash-based intervention of 7,200 naira as allowance per month per registered refugee, an amount many say is grossly insufficient given the sizes of some of their families. The 7,200 naira given is not sufficient for a family like mine. I stay with matured women. It is out of the 7,200 naira that we buy sanitary pads every month, pants, and every other thing.
Buy everything. At times
when my child falls sick, it is out of the same amount that they will be treated. My husband is not able to provide for the family. The non-distribution of the CBI at the Ogoja refugee camp for some months recently sparked protests at the camp.
When they give our money
doesn't reach us. They share only to those in the camp. Not all in the camp even collect the 7,200 naira.
That
last Tuesday, we protested, and on Wednesday, we were asked to write our names. We did, and we were promised the list will be put up on Thursday. Until this Saturday, nothing has been done yet. Over 40,000 Cameroonians have already fled to Nigeria, with hundreds of thousands internally displaced. The number is on the rise as the crisis persists despite government's effort in bringing peace.
The strategy is that we start with those who are in the villages, those who don't hurt themselves, so that when those who are hated will see what is done for them, they will have the courage to come out of the bushes and present themselves and register to have the aid, the assistance.
Behind these statistics are people filled with unique life experiences. They are mothers longing to return home.
We like to go back now.
We want to go back. We want the crisis resolved. We ran away, abandoning our farms and everything. We want to go back home.
Go back.
Fathers yearning to walk again, and their children searching for a childhood. The people who live in the camp depend greatly on donors like the Aya Foundation for Survivor. The foundation is a Cameroonian-based non-governmental organization which has been reaching out to refugees as well as internally displaced persons. Recently, their humanitarian gesture extended not only to the refugees with food and other household necessities, but to the refugee students and pupils with books and school uniforms. A move appreciated by Mr. Upa Nupong, Principal of Government Technical College, Ogoja, and the beneficiary students.
The students need to be on uniform so that we can identify our students. Like as it is now, if any foreign body stray into the school, we cannot really detect immediately. But once all of them are on uniform, once anybody stray in, we can fish out the person immediately. Those are one of the challenges we have.
Despite the challenges faced along the roads, ranging from passing within localities during crossfire, and at a time when many who can help fear to dare, the Aya Foundation is making several trips.
The place of the kid is in school, and that is studying in the healthiest of conditions, healthiest health-wise, mental-wise, financial-wise. So all those things put together. That's why I brought uniforms for them and books. We've been sharing a lot of books to them too, so they study in very good state of mind. But more importantly, they have to get back to the country, and they cannot do that unless there is a call for a ceasefire and the war gets to an end. They are better off back home than here. What keeps the Aya Foundation going is love for humanity. We've been into it for a very long time. We understand what it takes, we understand what it means for someone to be out of his country with just the clothes he has on him. We understand the comfort in which we find ourselves back home, even amidst the war. It's better we're back home than being here. So it's that love for mankind. The love is such that however dangerous it is doing what we are doing, we just have to keep coming while we pray that this crisis gets to an end as soon as possible so that we can concentrate on building lives and not helping people to survive out of their homeland.
The Adagom refugee settlement is 1 out of 4 in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, host to thousands of fleeing Cameroonians. The refugee hosting communities are already living under the poverty line. They are in dire need of assistance themselves, as their ability to help is being stretched to the limit. Only one condition, the refugees say, will guarantee their comeback to their country. We want the United Nations to stop the war in our homeland. These people, as well as those living in internal displacements, long for the day when insecurity due to the crisis will only be read in history books. They yearn for the day when they shall see their homes again, for even as they are in distress away from homeland, they can hardly forget home.